Welcome back. Shao takes us to Central, where another company operates in a circular economy, but with a wider range of selections.
Hi Sarah, can you tell me a little bit more about the concept of your company?
Yeah, so basically we're a consignment platform, and we also have two retail stores. This is the Hollywood Road store, which you're standing in now. And we also have a warehouse in Wonjat where we have thousands of pieces. So for anybody who doesn't know what consignment means, it's basically if you have pieces in your wardrobe where you don't, use or wear anymore.
Like myself, I have a lot of that. Yeah.
We all do, and I think especially women, we're the type of company who can take in your pieces, and then once it's sold, we will give you a fee. That's what consignment means. And this type of concept has been quite big in the States and also in Europe, for instance. Right. But it hasn't really taken off in Hong Kong or Asia. We've been able to convert a lot of shoppers from buying pre-owned just by having this space here. People walk past and they think it's all new items. It's becoming trendy. I think people are noticing that they can find unique pieces. Also, the pieces are not old and dirty like it used to be. I mean, the quality of our pieces are so good. Some things even have tags on them from the original shop because, they take things home, they buy things and they don't wear it.
And do you see your clientele as being more of a younger crowd?
Obviously, the younger generation are more accepting with pre-owned fashion, especially in these last few years after COVID. Has really taken off, and it's actually set to beat fast fashion by the end of this decade. Sure. Sustainability has become a very big focus for a lot of people who are shopping nowadays.
When talking about sustainability, I think a lot of the waste is from textiles and fabric.
Yes. 10 years ago, everybody was really into fast fashion, and that was really taking over. And I feel like we were in high voltage, high consumption mode where people were just shopping and shopping and shopping and not really caring about the quality of the pieces. And actually, because they were so cheap, they were discarding them. Textiles waste is a really big pollutant, but the fashion industry in itself, a lot of people don't know, is actually one of the biggest pollutants worldwide. So it's not only about the pieces that people throw away, it's also about how the pieces are manufactured. Like a pair of denim pants takes about 80 gallons of water to make. And so if you can imagine, if people just wear that a few times and then throw it away, then it's a lot of water and wastage. And you think about people who don't even have enough to drink in this world.
Is there anything particular that when you're shopping personally, you look at the labels? Are there anything specific about the labels that it says about the material or maybe where it comes from that you look out for?
Yeah, I mean, I think if I was buying products that were not pre-owned, because pre-owned is easier because it's already been produced, everything you buy is anyway saving the planet in essence, right? If you're buying stuff that is like from first-hand, i.e. from a normal retailer, then yes, I think it's like things you can look at fabrication, like silks and cottons are really good, but even cottons sometimes, that also uses a lot of water, so you need to look at organic cotton. You have to also research a bit about the company and see how they're manufacturing their pieces, because obviously there's a lot of, slave labor going on in the world, and buying good quality pieces that last longer, that you don't need to throw away, and also like just knowing that you can resell the item again because it's got a good brand and it's got good quality.
During this kind of weird time that we're living in with a pandemic and everything, for me personally, I took it as a time where I can clear out a lot of my, I wouldn't say junk, but a lot of my old stuff in my closet. And what's preventing me from getting those bags and maybe dropping off at like a donation center versus coming into a place like this?
There is one thing about, say, dumping them off to charity shops and stuff like that. And, there's certain places around the world, in Africa and in Mexico and etc., that just become dumping grounds. And there's places in Africa where there's mounds and mounds and mounds of product. Most of it is actually fast fashion. they don't even want the product anymore. They've got so many clothes, they don't need clothes. I think initially the kind of idea was great, give people clothes that you know, poor people clothes, but actually there's too much of it now.
I think a lot of the times, you know, you leave one of those donation stores and kind of give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah.
And like, I did my part, but then you don't really know what they do with the clothes.
Yeah.
Like, they might take a couple items
Yeah,
out
exactly.
and then the
They
rest.
sell what they can resell.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is that people always think, well, yeah, you know, I can just dump it off here and that's them done.
Yeah,
But the problem
sure.
is that some people don't even want to buy it, even if it was free. Even if you gave them money, they might not want to take it home because it's not a good item. So what happens then with all of those pieces? We've just got basically too much stuff. So I think the idea of, you know, sustainable kind of shopping is actually to buy better quality pieces, buy less, think about what you're buying and whether you can resell it afterwards if you need to, and basically just get enough wear for your piece of item. But I feel like reselling your stuff, at least you know that someone has bought it and they will take it home and they will probably love it or cherish it and wear it for quite a long period. A lot of my sellers might not even need the money necessarily. It's more the concept that they know that it's going to a good home.
When I came here 8-9 years ago, I think the only efforts I saw around in Hong Kong to do with sustainability was the food industry. You know, at that time I saw a lot of vegan places, vegetarian places, and a lot of people trying it out. And I didn't really see anything to do with fashion. You being in the fashion industry for so long, was it always a thing where people had that in the back of their heads that we should be a more sustainable industry? Or
the words like sustainability has always been a difficult one because it was always deemed as kind of feeling a bit dirty and the designs were never good. And so when you used to think about sustainability, you'd think about something that was kind of brown and maybe made out of hemp and, you know, like, I feel like nobody really wanted to take that on. And now that we're getting better at making brilliant vegan food, at making, you know, beautiful, sustainable fashion, from an arts or creative point of view, people are really going back to learning how to knit, how to sew. They're, you know, doing pottery classes. I think the use of your hands and being able to know how things are made are super important as part of that whole journey. You know, people used to make their own clothes and it used to last for generations, and now, you know, we probably wear our pieces, you know, maybe once or twice and throw them away. So I think there has been a big change, and I'm really excited to see that, it's taking off. I mean, if it wasn't, we might not be here, because it has been quite difficult for the first few years for us to start the business, because people were not ready for it, basically.
Right, and so I really do hope that we are trending in the right direction, which I feel like we are, because we've made a lot of progress in the past few years.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure you felt that as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, for us, there's like, I'm on a lot of like these groups, these sustainability groups, circular economy groups. There's a lot of people asking questions. How do I recycle batteries? How do I do this? You know, and there's companies in there that are already facilitating, you know, breaking these products down and trying to create energy from them. And for me, I actually feel like sustainability isn't going to be a word that we use anymore, because I feel like we're going to be doing it in our everyday lives, that it's going to become very normal for us. And sustainability isn't going to be this thing anymore. It's just going to be integrated.
I do think we are living in an exciting time because you start to see the change, right?
Yeah.
And it's been happening quite exponentially in the past few years. Like I said before, I think the first efforts I noticed was with food and eating clean and going vegan and making sure you're looking at the menu, seeing where the chicken comes from, where this fish comes from, is it sustainable? And that's obviously a great first step. And then I think one of the Probably one of the largest issues in Hong Kong is the emissions with the vehicles. You start to see a little bit more electric cars on the road, which is fantastic.
Totally. Big companies are even taking on, you know, a lot of corporate social responsibility, and the ESG kind of initiatives are very, you know, kind of important. And I feel like in big companies nowadays, even there's now like usually a sustainability officer in some way in the business, and this is not only looking after obviously your consumption, it's also how the business is actually running. It's not just about how much paper you use, it's about your whole company ethos, and it has to start from the bottom. Anything to do with manufacturing, or even the way that you want to market your business, or whatever it is. There's so many different areas where sustainability covers, and it actually is a very complex topic, and sustainability in itself.
Yes.
And it's very broad, so there's so many different little things you can do.
And you're right, no matter how small it is, even if you don't think it makes a difference, it does.
It does.
Even the action, if someone sees you doing something small, it might spread that way.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
before today, I admit, I would always just drop off my clothes at a donation center. Now, I gotta rethink it. However you choose to do it, you gotta really care about how we live our lives and how we can contribute to a better future.